Morning, guys.
Morning.
Good. I'm good. How are things there?
Good. How are
morning,
you?
huh?
Yes.
We don't need rain.
All right, I guess I'll get it going this morning. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So, this week's co-topic is maintain cleanliness and condition of vehicles and equipment. Ben, do you have anything to add to that?
Take care of it like it was your own. Because it kind of is.
Mm-hmm. We've had 79 days without a recordable injury, and 1 day from the last first aid injury. So the last week and a half, we've had 3 hand injuries. So we got to watch out for those, and that's kind of gonna go into my topic today. I'm going to talk about preventing hand injuries. So when preventing hand injuries, 1 million emergency room visits each year are due to work-related hand injuries, and 70% are because you weren't wearing gloves, and 30% are because you had the wrong gloves on. So picking the right gloves is a good thing to look out for. Pinch points, rotating parts, hot and cold surfaces, entanglement. Watch where you're putting your hands. Think about things before you put your hand there. If I'm, this hot mix might be a little warm to the touch. It might burn me. Maybe I should put gloves on, something like that. I've got this little angle between the bucket and the on the excavator and the pin. And I got to get my hand in there to fix something. Make sure it's shut off. Make sure the hazard just can't be there. Just make sure you lock things out, tag things out, secure things so they won't pinch your hand, things like that. So elimination, just turn the machine off. Take that hazard completely out of the equation. Then engineering controls. Make sure all your tools have guards on them, and the guards are properly in place, and that you're using them properly. Don't be taking things off because the guard's in your way when you're working. They're there to protect you and help you out. Administrative controls, using tools like crowbars or something else rather than sticking your hand down in there. Use something else that if it pinches that, it's not gonna matter. And then finally, the final thing is wear the proper gloves, and then have the proper glove selection as well. You don't want a pair of gloves that are gonna slip off something when they get wet. Like a leather glove or something like that. You want something with a good grippy palm. If you're using, you're working with a wet chemical or in concrete, you don't want leather gloves. You want more of a rubber glove, something that water won't penetrate through. So just watch out where you're putting your hands. We've had 3 issues this week, so we want to nip that in the butt before it becomes a problem. So that's really all I have.
Okay, thanks, Austin. Yeah, definitely something to watch for. And hot asphalt is a good example of something we deal with every day. We don't think much about it. I remember back in the old days when we may not have even worn a t-shirt out on the job. I remember one of the, they take the shovel and push the tailgate of the truck back and let it slam shut if it's to clean it out a little bit. And I remember getting sprayed all over the chest with hot mix.
So a lot of
be
it
careful.
is think before you do. If you just
Nope.
when we're impulsive, that's when I've hurt my hands. You just try to do something impulsively, and then you stick your hand where you shouldn't. So
Yep. Yeah, just think about things before you do them. Just take a moment, stop, and should I put my hand there or not? Let's see.
usually your gut tells you you shouldn't, and then afterward you hurt yourself. You're like, yeah, I knew that could happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take over the screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep, we got it.
All right, perfect. Let me drag this box out of the way. Oops. Okay, so for announcements this week, we have changed our STD, that's short-term disability / life insurance, and we pay. And of course, the ECI has always paid 100% of the STD life insurance and ADD. That's some kind of disability, accidental dismemberment or something. Is that right, Ben? Do you recall what ADD stands for?
Accidental death and dismemberment.
In dismemberment, yep.
Yep.
So the change is primarily that full-time employees, who have always been eligible after the first 90 days of employment, but the change is that after August 1st, we've increased the upper limit on the payments that you get for short-term disability. So you use that if you're sick, you have a long-term illness over a certain number of days expected, you submit for the short-term disability, and it's kind of like like sick days with a reduced compensation, but it's an extended amount of time and it's paid for by this insurance policy. And so the upper limit is 60% of a 40-hour week up to $2,200. And previously it was a lot lower limit. So we've cleaned that up a bit to make it more in line with the times.
Yeah, I think that Ken, the 460 was pretty legacy from a long time ago, right? It didn't go up through the years, but that's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. So the other announcement we're still carrying is we are still on the healthcare premium holiday. That was 14 weeks from the June 2nd. So we're burning up a good portion of that.
Wow.
Still feels good. And we have some new employees. We have a Josh Corrigan on the concrete crew. And we have Paul Jerome also on concrete. So welcome, guys. And I put this in last week. We have this free opioid drug help kit located at the side door entrance to the operations building. This was provided by AGC and the Vermont Health Link. So if you know somebody using opioid pain medications or abusing maybe opioid pain medications or harder heroin type stuff, please take one of these bags if you don't already have that. This could help you respond to a situation. So check it out. And the primary care wellness program link here. And then for the project of the week, we're talking about the flood response CCI has done at various locations. We have been contracted with various clients to perform restoration after the devastating flood that struck Vermont a week ago. It's amazing how hard a lot of communities got hit, both residential, municipal facilities like wastewater plants and things. And of course, the railroad always gets hit. It's down in the low areas of the valleys and the highways. So I haven't seen too many actual bridge problems, at least as to the level we saw in Irene, but they're out there, and we got an example here of some work we've done. First item, I'm just going to go through all the things we've worked on, and I don't know if it's all of them, but we had the VTrans Maintenance District number 8. We've been doing some pavement repairs at the Wrong Way Bridge up on Route 15 in Cambridge. On the NECR, the VTR, and the Green Mountain Railroad, we have in Randolph a bank slide on the NECR at the outside curve of the Gilly Brook, and the repair required constructing an access road 1,600 feet long, estimated 3,000 feet of slide material plus road construction. So the next one is the Essex, Middlesex, that's numerous washouts and hanging track. Clarendon and Wallingford, numerous washouts, hanging track. Proctorsville, Cavendish, that's on Route 103 area there. Outside of Ludlow, of course, Cavendish is right outside of Ludlow. Undermined bridge abutments, numerous washouts, hanging track. Ludlow, there was a huge culvert failure. We've seen that a lot in the news. There's an estimated maybe 10,000 yards or more, who knows? But it's huge. We've been providing support there. Chester, there's been numerous washouts, failed bridges. East Wallingford, large washout and culvert failure. Richmond, washout. Mount Holly, numerous washouts. A lot of these little ones, but it's significant enough to disrupt the railroad. And Roxbury, there was a bank slide. For the city of Burlington, there's a problem with their wastewater line, and we're installing 5,300 linear feet of 12-inch diameter HDPE pipe for a temporary sewer bypass to the north end wastewater treatment plant. And VTrans on Route 110, town of Washington. Of course, there's another narrow valley there, steep sides. They have had a problem with a bridge that we repaired with grout bags. And just to go through some of the pictures, you have the pictures of the pavement repairs on Route 15 at the Wrong Way Bridge. It's like they had probably quite a bit of water flowing over the roadway and damaged the asphalt. Another one from the project. Getting some compaction. Picture off the back end of the paver, looking back at the roller. And then the washout repairs at milepost 42.1 on the NECR in Randolph. You can see some of the examples of hanging track that was, at least this is more extreme level. The Ludlow is another big problem area, but this just shows you that there's no trains coming through here until this is fixed. This is on the curve of a stream. There's the river. But had to get re-armored and build up the embankment. But they got it done. Yeah, they're trimming up the slopes. This was an interesting little one. Just a quick in and out, but this was the Route 110 Washington Bridge repair. This is shows you the scour taken by a VTrans inspector before we were dispatched to it. So especially they're showing that grade rot or something there, 4 foot plus or minus penetration under the center section of the upstream end of abutment number 1. We used grout bags and pumped the grout bags to fill these bladders full of grout to support the scoured out areas. And looks like we applied some mortar to fill up the joints. Wallingford. This looks like a pretty big mess. Track there up on that crest of that hill. So it's quite an extended length. I don't know if anyone else has any experience on these. I haven't been to these. I think this is the Ludlow job, just from what I had seen on the news, but I'm not totally certain. I put Ludlow. I know we've got a haul truck guy down there.
Yeah, that is Ludlow County.
Yeah, okay. And the city of Burlington. Of course, we're putting in all that new PE pipe for sewer. It's got a couple blue lines on there. I don't think it's really blue. It should be green, I thought.
We took what we could get,
Right.
Ken.
My screen just froze. Is anybody else on? Bennett,
Yeah,
Kenny,
mine froze too.
Yeah, I think it's just
Yeah,
Ken that's froze.
It might be Ken. I'll just chime in real quick because I was gonna
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah, so obviously crazy stuff. Some communities you wouldn't even know they got hit, and 5 miles down the road, it's really bad. So I just wanted to show some appreciation for all our crews that are, out
Mm.
there helping people get back up and running. We've had guys working literally 100-hour weeks, 7 days a week, nonstop, and they're doing really good work, and we certainly appreciate it. And I think I heard from the guys on Burlington yesterday. They were here late last night, and they said they've never seen a crew so happy to see construction on their street.
that's cool.
The guys down south, you kind of feel like you're saving the day when you can put your nose to the grindstone and help rebuild the state. So it feels good, and we appreciate all the guys out there putting in the extra effort.
It'd be nice for them to have a little relief. They've been working a lot of hours. It gets tiring after a while, so we really appreciate that.
All right, so
You're back, Ken.
I lost my connection now. I don't know where my email is. Do you guys have it up?
Thank you, Ben.
See, I can open it here. Here we go. There we go. Okay, I found it. So I'll reconnect. Oops, hold on. Oh, I see it. There it is. Okay. You see my screen again?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm back. I'm connected here. So this load of pipe, I think there was a couple loads of pipe for this size. I'm not sure exactly. I think there was two.
We
But
had
there's a lot of
three, Ken.
pipe. Three of them. There's a lot of pipe there. And those
Right
what,
about a mile.
50-foot sticks?
Yes, sir.
Looks like 50s, yep. And so a lot of fusing. I like this photo here. It says 1 lane road ahead. I mean, is there like a 0 lane road here that it transitions upward to a 1 lane road, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Now,
The
we took over the
excavator gets out of the
neighborhood,
way.
that's for sure. And I get this picture here, this explanation to the pedestrians, motorists, and residents of the area.
Wow.
It looks not
Wow.
terribly disruptive.
Yeah.
And Ken, I was lucky enough to get that tank truck into the picture, but there's several of them running 24 hours a day to try to pump and dump all
Right.
the sewage so it doesn't end up in the river.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or that they dump less in the river, right?
Right.
For a while it was,
Reduce.
yeah, for a while it was one truck, right?
It was.
So next week we'll highlight this project in more detail, and they'll be further along with the pump set up and everything. So looking
Wow.
forward to that.
Jeez.
And then this picture was from
Oh,
the spring of 2001.
is that in
That's
Westminster
the-
West or Westminster?
Yep, that's Westminster. That's the Connecticut River. And the
Yep.
tracks, unfortunately, where they had a washout was right on the bank, and the trains just went right in, unfortunately. We haven't seen anything like that since
Wow.
then. But it was a pretty extreme and dramatic, field of view here. When you see this, you just go like, oh my God, what happened? But we assisted on the cleanup and the retrieval of equipment, of the railroad's equipment and everything, and replaced the tracks. And this was later in the summer that we put in a couple of a twin culvert system. The problem was from up above, there was actually, I think it was a landowner that had, improperly diverted water off from their property onto the railroad property. Just a small house guy built a fairly new house, and some of the, the drainage put the water in a different area. And I believe it was in April it started, and I believe what happened that I recall is that there was a lot of rain on a snow-covered field. Everything was snow-covered, and then it all melted and it gave way. And it caused a huge problem, obviously. So water's a pretty serious thing. All right, that's what I got. I'll turn it back over to Austin. Thanks for all the input, guys. We'll talk next week about Burlington Sewer.
Thank you. Thank you, Rudy.
All right.
Have a good day.
Everyone have a good day. If you watch a group setting, email or text me. Matt's not here today, so if you got any questions, call me, ask me. Remember, we'll have the meeting up in the safety training room every day, every Friday. So if you want to come up and watch it, we'll be here. All right.
Yeah, you're like live from the training center. Like,
yeah, right. We got
Channel
our first
5
customer
weather
today.
station or something.
You guys have snacks or anything, or?
No, we can get some, I guess.
You got coffee.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
coffee.
All right.
That's good.
Catch
Thank
you
you, guys.
later. Be safe
Good
out
day.
there, everybody.
See ya.